Segal. I am a lead curatorial intern at Alfa Art Gallery. I attend Rutgers University in Mason Grove School of the Arts, and it's a pleasure interviewing Rena Segal today.
And I'm Rena Segal, a painter. I've grown up in New Jersey. I'm currently living in my parents' house that I renovated about 7 years ago. So it's nice to be back here because our foundation is here on the property. That's basically why I moved back.
Mm.
So I don't know if you know, my dad's George Segal, the sculptor. That's the foundation is the George and Helen Segal Foundation, which I'm president. Inherited it from my mom about 11 years ago after she passed away.
Oh,
So I think this might be the day before or after whatever she passed away. I think it's around that time because Dad was a couple weeks ago. It's 25 years since he's been gone. Feels like yesterday, but it's nice to be here. I feel them here in the house.
that's nice. It's always nice, like even like just having that familial presence. All right, let's get into the questions. So, Rena, could you share a bit about your creative process when working on your art?
It began with taking photographs of this lake. If you're referring to my landscapes, back about 30 some years ago. And recently I just revisited those same photographs since I now have a computer and I can crop what I see, like the lake part, so I can use those as work photographs. Basically, it's very spontaneous when I work. Listen to music, and however the music is playing, whatever it's loud, soft, rock, country, that's how my hands move around the canvas, with the paintbrush. It's like your body gets involved with the movement.
I know that feeling because I go by music as well whenever I do my artwork. Like, I always think like music and art always have like that spiritual connection. I always believed in that.
No, it is true because you get inspired by it and it makes whatever you do a fabulous experience.
Indeed. Which artists have influenced your work, especially during the early stages of your career?
Actually, it's been since the early stages to now. It hasn't changed from Matisse, Bonnard, Rothko, de Kooning, Jackson Pollock, Monet. It's like a wide variety of people
Hmm.
that influenced me. Not influenced, but inspired, like with Monet, with the quality of light that he painted with the cathedrals. It's like different times of day and year. So I did that and decided that the fall and early morning was best because the light was beautifully reflected in the water at the time. So that's basically it. And the abstract expressionists with their freedom of putting the paint on the canvas. And I started to paint large during the pandemic again. Well, I did murals back in the late 70s, and I said, let's try it bigger again. So then I did that, and that's what happened. So it's been very fun to go back to being big again. It's hard for me. I have to climb on ladders sometimes to reach things, and they take a little longer, but it's a lot of fun to do. It's energizing.
Mhm. Like, what inspired you to pursue a path as an artist, and what drew you to the particular medium you use?
Well, actually, my dad was a painter, so he gave me his oil paints when he went into being a sculptor. Actually, growing up in an artistic household, that's what you know. That's what you gravitate towards. Actually, I did. Some other people whose parents were artists, they went the opposite way. They didn't go into it. But Dad always made it feel like it was a fabulous experience to do. And he always told me you have to do something you like to do as a profession. You have to love your job and be passionate about it. So that's how that happened. And actually, when I was 16, I knew I wanted to be a painter.
Yeah, interesting. Is this something specific you hope viewers will notice or take away from your artwork?
I feel that that's a personal experience between the viewer and my art. They take away what they think and feel. I don't tell people what to think and feel, let them experience it.
Hmm. Yeah, 'cause it's interesting. one of your pieces, Red Haze, there's a lot of contrast of colors, movement suggested by the brush strokes, tension. It creates a very powerful yet compelling composition. Would you be open to share your perspective on this painting? What was the process like, and what emotions did you experience when creating it?
It was probably very spontaneous. I just saw one of my photographs and I said, I'll do that one. That's what happens. You kind of look at everything that's on the floor and you pick what strikes you, what you want to paint that day. And then you turn music on and you just go to town. Just paint. There's nothing that's thought about. It's very much in the moment when you listen to music. That's how it happens.
Yeah, like get in the zone.
You get in your zone, you forget about the time, and you just work.
of
Jump around to whatever it is you're listening to.
Mhm. Of the four pieces you're exhibiting at Alpha Art Gallery, do you have a personal favorite? If so, what draws you to that particular work?
No, I don't have a favorite. It's like asking a mother, "What's your favorite? Who's your favorite kid?" That's like I can't do that. That's what Mom always said. She says, "I can't tell you. You know, everybody is unique and different, so you can't say who's your favorite."
That's true. And I like the fact that, it's like it's open. Even though with myself, I don't have a particular favorite piece because I feel that's something that's personal between like the viewer and the artwork. It's like as soon as like I finish something, I just let it go and I just move on to the next piece. Is it like that with you?
That's kind of like what happens.
Yeah. Like, how did you come to develop your current art style? Like, was it a gradual process or shaped by specific experiences or influences?
I think it probably started when I had a crayon on my hand at 4 years old, and it just progressed in time to be what it is because it really started to be, I think, abstracted. I think when I was like maybe a teenager, because I used to paint what I saw outside the window and in windows and doors in the beginning, and then it kind of progressed to just the landscape. So it kind of happened over time to leave the structures out and just do the landscape.
Mm,
That's what happened.
interesting. Like, what initially drew you to Alpha Art Gallery as a place to exhibit your work?
Never knew of the gallery until I got an email to invite me to submit my work to be considered for the show. I know they've been around a while, but I never knew they were in New Brunswick.
Hmm. Do you
It's one,
feel
no, it's one of those things where usually I know what's happening, but I guess the newspapers these days don't report on things as much.
mm,
They used to. Back when I remember them reporting, because I remember in the 80s they used to report about all these galleries popping up,
mm.
but now they don't do it anymore. It's like it's all online, and I'm not glued to the computer, so I'm more of an old-fashioned person to look at a newspaper. It's probably why I didn't know.
No, I understand because nowadays with online and websites just being more active than before, you got to be careful with a lot of scams because it's like the internet just makes it a haven for all these money laundering and
Oh yes, I know that happened during the pandemic. You get a lot of stuff there, and you have to like know that they were scams.
yeah.
So I think that's why it's because we're more of in a computer age than a newspaper age. That's probably why I didn't know about it.
Yeah. Do you feel the physical space of the gallery complements the themes or scale of your artwork? If so, in what ways?
I really can't answer that because I haven't had a chance to visit the gallery physically since all this began. So I'm planning on trying to go, before the show to see what it looks like.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. And how by like so once you have your artwork displayed at Alpha Art Gallery, how will this influence your future projects or direction as an artist?
I can't really answer that. That's kind of a difficult one to answer
I
because it's too much up in the air because I don't know. It's kind of like you exhibit and then you see what happens after the opening. That's how the best I can answer.
Hmm. Actually, I'm just curious, like, have you exhibited your artwork in previous exhibitions before?
No, not at the Alpha Gallery, no.
Well, not at Alpha, like, other galleries or.
Oh, other galleries, yeah. And I had one person shows, but I knew the space, so I knew, what would be what to expect.
Hmm. But with the previous gallery exhibitions that you had, like prior to Alpha, has that influenced your future projects or direction as an artist?
Oh, not really, no. Just spaces are different, the work looks different in each space, of course. And that's basically, you can't elaborate too much because you hop from one thing to another, basically, or even in a museum when you have like a touring show, everything looks different in a different space. So it's kind of like that for me.
Yeah.
You have to, every space is unique and your work, is unique in each space, the way it looks, how it's presented
Mhm.
is the best I can tell you.
It's okay. Like, it was that's all the questions that we have for today, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time to answer each of them. And I thank you kindly, for your time and for your insight into the arts. It was a pleasure discussing this with you today, Rena.
Thank you.